Ontario Deputy NDP leader Jagmeet Singh has just declared his candidacy for the leadership of the federal NDP party, which means Jagmeet Singh wants to be the Prime Minister of Canada. And true to form, like pretty much every other NDP leadership candidate ever, Singh has a soft spot for murderous lunatics as long as those murderous lunatics are from his side of the political spectrum. Case in point, Jagmeet Singh's glowing eulogizing tweet for Fidel Castro on the day the long-serving Cuban dictator finally took his rightful place on a hot rock in hell. This is the tweet Jagmeet Singh sent. He saw a country racked by poverty, illiteracy, and disease, so he led a revolution that uplifted the lives of millions. R.I.P. And then Singh attached that photo of Castro that looks so much like Justin Trudeau. I'm not suggesting anything by that. I'm just making a simple observation. Okay, so is this worshipping of Castro becoming a prerequisite to be the Prime Minister of Canada? I mean, is that how this all works? Remember when Trudeau eulogized Castro and it spawned an embarrassing hashtag that embarrassed all of Canada internationally? I'm still a little humiliated when I think about it all. Cubans turned garbage into boats to risk their lives to get away from Castro's version of paradise. But yeah, let's just say nice things about this dictator scumbag because he smashed capitalism in Cuba. You know what else Castro smashed? Political dissent by using firing squads against his political enemies. That is when Castro took time away from trying to purge the entire country of Cuba of gay people, black people, and every other person Castro didn't like. Up to 141,000 people died during the Cuban Revolution. And the Latin American division of the human rights organization Freedom House says there were still 18,000 political detainees, let's be real, they're prisoners, in Cuba over the last 10 years alone. Oh, and by the way, regardless of Singh's tweet to the contrary, there are still dirt poor people in Cuba. The average household income is between $300 and $2,000 US per year, depending on where you live in the country of Cuba. But my whole point is this is who the NDP are. They will worship any old communist as long as he's a communist. And they'll overlook everything else this communist says or does. Because to an NDPer, the ends justify the means. And this isn't just coming from your run-of-the-mill fringe NDP wackos. It's coming from their leadership. And I think I'm uniquely qualified to speak about this because, remember, I live in the clutches of these low-rent Sandinistas every single day because Alberta accidentally elected the NDP to government 2 years ago. NDP Premier Rachel Notley has a Che Guevara watch. Even though he was the same sort of racist, homophobic, murderous lunatic with an affinity for firing squads as Castro was, as long as he was overthrowing those capitalist pigs, that's really all that matters. NDP MLA Rod Loyola loves Hugo Chavez. This is his embarrassing rap/spoken word performance/cringy mess that he did to honor the dead Venezuelan dictator. Just watch.
As a people's poet, I have a few rhymes that I'd like to share with you today. And it goes like this. About to hit the mic quiet, subversively, coming at you with ingenuity, breaking down indoctrination of capitalist commodification that's taken over your mind, attacking you all the time through daily media blips like drive-by hits. The clip just hit the ground. We've been broken and bound, tied up behind enemy lines, incarcerated and confined. To break free, we need to have an urban guerrilla mentality. Observe your enemy, analyze strength and weaknesses, use the same ammunition. Oh man, I forgot my lines.
So right now Loyola is an NDP backbencher, but he was an NDP leadership candidate in Alberta before losing to Rachel Notley. Loyola even had a memorial for Chavez featured in the Communist Party of Canada's Marxist-Leninist daily newspaper. If I'm ever featured in that newspaper, it should be as an enemy of their cause. Because of the Chavez Bolivarian revolution in Venezuela, people don't have toilet paper, medicine, or civil rights, but Chavez nationalized the oil company, so it's fine. It's fine. And speaking of Hugo Chavez, former federal NDP leadership candidate Linda McQuaig had the same sort of fangirl affection for him. She wrote that Chavez redirected vast sums of national wealth to the swollen ranks of Venezuela's poor. Venezuelans lost on average 19 pounds last year. because of food shortages, but let's not let those pesky facts get in the way of a good communist whitewashing. And deceased federal NDP leader Jack Layton loved that disgusting eugenicist and father of Canadian Medicare, Tommy Douglas. Seriously, Douglas wrote his master's thesis on eugenics and called his thesis The Problems of the Subnormal Family. But as long as he was pushing for single-payer healthcare, what's a few forcibly sterilized undesirables from subnormal families, probably like mine, along the way? Gotta crack a few eggs to make an omelet and all. To the NDP brain trust, like Jagmeet Singh, capitalism is far worse than anything a communist could ever do, even murder. You can judge these people by their heroes, and you have to wonder what rights of Canadians they'd be willing to strip away in the name of their failed ideology. For the Rebel.media, I'm Sheila Gunreid. So we keep an eye on the progressives at all levels of government here in Canada, and we do it all without a taxpayer subsidy. To never miss a story, be sure to subscribe to our new Rebel Canada YouTube page.